Hey, what's good, my friends? Thanks so much for checking out the Open Decks podcast. This week, Ryan and I sat down with Sean Blvd and Cas, two of my favorite DJs here in the DC area. Yeah, guys that I've seen a few times. They've been on lineups that I've put together over the last year or so. And Cas in particular is putting out new music at a pretty impressive clip. So I want to make sure you guys check out his stuff. I'll have links for you there. Sean is pretty active in the internet radio scene, and so he has been putting out, I think, a weekly radio show for Deep Radio, and I'll make sure I have links to that as well. House Avenue Mix. Good dudes. Great conversation with Ryan. Also joined by Elusive Water, aka Mitch, who stopped by the MusicBox Karaoke Lounge studio to chat with us as well. Good conversation, big group this week, and a huge thanks to Richard and the team at MusicBox for hosting us and giving us the space to record. Sean and Cas also put together a brief B2B session prior to our discussion. I'll make sure that's linked here. But again, just a great all-around discussion. It's a little longer than typical, but that's a good thing. So thanks again for stopping by. I hope you enjoy the conversation, and keep listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing this. Really appreciate it. We did just a few minutes ago. Sean and Cas recorded a B2B set for us, so we'll make sure that the link for that gets into the show notes. We'll put it up on Mixcloud. Yeah. Make sure that's ready to go. But really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out tonight. And you can pass the mic back and forth. We can do whatever. But
this is fun. I love this.
So this is also our first time recording here on location at MusicBox. And MusicBox is one of those places that we were talking about kind of earlier, where if you're not from the area, you're probably not going to find it right away as a house music or as electronic music venue. But they bring some pretty incredible electronic music,
some notables
through
too.
Here. Yeah. So I can't remember if you guys performed at MusicBox before.
I played here once. It was over a year ago.
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
And Ryan and I have been here several times, and I know Rich, who hooked us up with MusicBox. He's a lot of trance, a lot of bass, a lot of multi-genre stuff in here, and
he's like the guy that will open for the trance DJ of the night.
Yeah, that's right. He opened at Soundcheck.
Yeah.
So this is one of those places that we're talking about where you want good house music. Yes, of course you can go to Flash, you can go to Echo Stage, Soundcheck, whatever, but you want to pop into MusicBox. You're gonna find something pretty incredible. So
yeah. Hi, this is Mitch. I don't
What's
know
up,
if I'm
Mitch?
in the camera. What's up,
Elusive
guys?
Water.
Elusive
We got you.
Water.
Believe me. You don't think you're on camera, but this thing has a
like a
shot.
wide view.
face,
Okay, like panoramic.
It's gonna be awkward because we're all gonna look like we're sitting next to each other. And it's
all right.
7
We'll
feet.
scoot in.
You're good.
All right.
You're on camera, man. You're good. You
All
didn't
right,
have to move.
Yeah. I've actually been here since the early days. I was asked to play here a couple summers ago now. So I got to see this place grow into what it is now, and it's been really popping since then. I think it's a really accommodating place for the local scene. Rich is super accommodating, and he'll take anyone that really wants to put on a show here.
Yeah.
I think it's really important for places like this to help grow the local scene, because
sure.
you can't have everyone playing at Flash or Soundcheck. You know what I mean? So it's important for the local scene to grow so that other DJs can come up and play as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he used to do those open decks events, and that's how I got introduced to a lot of the people here in the scene.
Yeah.
Thanks to Richard.
Thanks, Rich.
Man's be working.
So Cas, you just did Lucid Dream, right? You were up in Ramblewood this year?
Yeah. I was lucky enough. I played there last year for the first time, and the first time anywhere. It's not because it's a festival. It's not like I'll go there the week before or the month before and see what it's like. No, I didn't know what I was walking into.
Yeah.
I'm not a big festival DJ. It's actually one of the first in a long time type of festival things where people are camping, they're spending all weekend there. But I had a lot of fun, and lucky enough to be invited back this year. And again, I just had a better idea of what I was walking into. So, prepared and just more relaxed, I guess. Because, I don't know, not everyone's the same, but I'm a nervous kind of person.
Were you really leading up to it? You had to go through 3 different crates and try to really prep for it, or?
Well, so last year I did.
Yeah.
This year, again, because I had more of an idea of sort of the feeling and the vibe, and it's never exactly going to be exactly the same year to year. But
Yeah.
Right.
I was very chill. And for this year, my big thing was, and this is kind of for any gig actually for me right now, is I'm a new producer, and I find it difficult to play my own music.
Yeah, give us the background on that one.
And so yeah, I do prep. I have a playlist, but I was like, okay, let me try to get, and it's not like a whole set, but let me make sure I've got 5 that are available,
Yeah.
that I know I can mix with other things that I'm comfortable with. Because again, just because I can make a song doesn't mean I'm comfortable mixing it
Sure.
or it doesn't work well. But so to your question, I did prepare a set. I try to do a list of, if I'm playing for an hour, I'll try to have 2 hours worth.
Okay.
On top of any other sort of mix playlist I might have from previously, but what I think might work for that's kind of what I try to do.
Good, because you're giving me tips, because I'm doing one 4th of July.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sean, you've been I see you've been doing a lot of like radio show, live stream. I see your stuff is
Yeah, it's a UK based radio station, Deep Radio,
Yep.
D3EP. It's run by Grant Nelson, who's really big in the house scene. Bunches of Swing City records, bunches of tunes out since like really, I want to say late 80s, early 90s.
Yep.
Kind of thing. He started it many moon ago. I actually got hooked up into it through Mike Freak, who has like a show on there. So this is, I think, the 28th week. It's a weekly show that I've got. I called it House Avenue, basically after my style, because my style is kind of different. Being a New Yorker, it's a little bit more foot to the floor and street. So
Yeah, you
that's
just
why
walked
like
us
the
through that,
house,
right?
yeah.
Third
So
Street,
that's why the house,
yeah.
the Sean Blvd Boulevard comes in. It's all that stuff, right?
Makes sense.
So it's a lot of like Shelter Adidas and room boxes. But anyway, I hooked up with those guys online, and they told me, hey, why don't you do something? And they pretty much like my mix show so far. So it's 1 hour on Wednesdays each week. It's midnight over there, so it's going into Thursdays, but it's 7 p.m. here Eastern. But online, I'm meeting people from Belgium, Germany, all across the UK, France, all types of stuff. People chiming in, and they also give me the capability to do podcasts off of it as well.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
What is a prep for a live stream set compared to like live and in person? How's your prep different?
This one, it isn't live stream because I'm not live streaming on it. So this is like a program recorded set that I do out because it's like kind of so late. So like with me, I'm like a kind of a dichotomy because I've got so much going on in the work, the life, and then the music balance is like really heavy with me.
Right.
A lot of people don't know I work in like that big 5-sided building. So it's pretty intense, and I've been working for that for like many years. So it takes a lot. And then you've got the family life at home. So live streaming, I did a lot during the pandemic because we were all at home, which we're not at home anymore. I do go into work, by the way. Right? So, ish. So a lot of the live streaming, I pretty much stopped. And when I can actually hook it up and do the stream or actually do the mix, I'll send it in, ahead of time and stuff like that.
So you're putting these mix together, sending them in. In terms of preparation, though, does it change much for a mix that you're just going to send off, or are you actually live mixing it, or are you starting to stop it 10 times?
Because we've already before now. You started recording. We've already looked at my kind of library system and how I put stuff together. So
he's on a different level here.
We got an entire hour dedicated to the library
Nah,
system.
it's all flow. It may sound like Zen, you know what I mean, but it's all different flow. So all I'll do is just go. Once I hit about an hour, I can see that, okay, I've got time for one more track, and I'll either just dive it down to like, something classic or whatever, and then say I'm out, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So it just flows. It's just a flow kind of thing for me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Mitch, what do you got? Talk to us.
Just a general question. Are we all record box users?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all.
Oh yeah,
My bad. Yes.
Yeah. I guess
Affirmative.
I guess my question was like, how do you guys look at organizing in Record Box? Like, what's
Yeah, no, not kidding. We needed to do an entire show on it.
Didn't realize I was opening that box of worms.
No, we got.
Whoops.
But it's a good question because
Whoops.
we got an education in the Sean Blvd folder structure.
Yeah.
But I know I know Ryan. I use the comments and tags, and I have a certain system I use. I've talked to other DJs who use like energy by like number, right? Like and yours kind of flows by key and by energy.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of like if it's intuitive to the performer,
Right.
great.
I was
right?
just like picturing in my head the meme with that lady looking at.
You're gonna need a microphone for this, man, because
I was just saying it was like that meme, that lady looking at the sort of like the, what is it?
The numbers.
Numbers and algebra or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
It's just counting. I think what you showed us is probably in some ways aligned with how we all think, but obviously not obviously, but you have a much more robust structure library, and you have, of course, the boulevards and streets named out. But yeah, we could do an entire
Sean
hour on
is
it.
organized AF.
Yeah.
And I'm just completely disorganized. I can't speak for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm really like.
Not really.
I lose USBs left to right, so yeah.
But it's a compliment though.
No, he's shortening it. His is organized confusion. It's organized confusion because I'll look and I'm like, man, I don't even know where you're at. I have no idea, but it works. So,
Cas, I'm glad that you're living a life similar to mine in that way, because yes, it is. I'm probably far more chaotic, but it's nice
It's
to know that
commando,
there's,
man.
Yeah,
I'm going commando.
yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. So you're in general, not just Elusive, but your preparation in general. Are you showing up with just like, hey, a couple hours worth for an hour set? Like, what does your preparation look like if you don't have the Sean Blvd structure?
I'm lucky enough that I do get promos. I'm on promo lists, like In Flight is a big one. Plus, some labels. So I'm lucky enough. I have my own stuff. So for almost anything, whether it's a mixed show or playing a gig, I generally, it's kind of like the newest stuff.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean I'm like, oh, I need to find this other track from last month or a classic track that'll go perfect with this, because I love throwing in classic, either remixes of classic tunes or classic tunes.
That's what I like about you. Your
Not
style,
all over, but just stuff people. I mean, I throw them in because I like them.
Right.
But generally, people are gonna like them. They're not the anthems, but they're the anthems. I mean, if you know what I mean, recognizable.
Yeah.
Buckethead's The Bomb. Right, like any remix of that, people will be like, "I know that." There's 50 million remixes of it and edits of it, but you're gonna know it. I love that song, so I might throw that in. But usually, it's the newest stuff that I have that I think fits the vibe, because I might have techie stuff, I might have groovy stuff. The groovy stuff I like to call pool party stuff.
Right.
Where it's it's not bangers, it's daytime where it's it's good, it's danceable, but it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's
That's the sweet spot, man. It really is,
and then there's the nothing but bangers and the techie stuff, and then a mix of everything in between.
Yeah.
But you don't want to make the pool look like a club.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So I try to.
There's insurance, and safety.
Anyway, I was telling these guys earlier, I try to envision what the vibe's going to be like, or if it's an event, I'll go to them and I'll see what is going on. And sometimes I know by who's going to be DJing with, or the headliner is, what the vibe would be like. And I try to cater to that or complement it, not do that, but complement it. But it's usually based on newer stuff.
Yeah.
The majority is going to be newer stuff, as long as it fits.
Yeah.
So that's my process. I don't know. It's chaotic.
I mean, I know I get the Cas promos as often as they're released. I think I get them as often as they're released.
You know what? I want to share music. It's not about, you're not cool, you don't get. It's not about that at all.
I'm not cool, everybody.
You
You
could be
heard
a
it here
bedroom
first.
DJ that knows nothing. I sent out a request for emails, basically. Would you like my promos to my socials? and I put them on all my socials.
Yeah.
Every single person that responded, and there wasn't like a million, but the people who responded, they're on my promo list. I mean, that's it. There's nothing special
How
about it.
How much of what you're playing out these days is your stuff versus like
it's
other
hard.
things you have to dig for? Like
it's hard.
It's your sound. It's your sound.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. But I'm going out of my way to have them in there. And I think lately, I'd say the last 9 months to a year, there's at least one. Something I won't do is if it doesn't fit the vibe, I'm not forcing it just because it's mine.
Right.
Now I know some people might, and some people might say you need to. I try. I'm not saying I'm great at it, but I try to make things flow track to track.
Yeah.
In a nice way, as much as I can. And so I'm not a perfect producer. Everything isn't the exact same. It's all over the place. I'm still learning. I'm new at making music. And my stuff's all over the place. So yeah, I'm looking for stuff that fits the vibe or the sound of the general tracks around it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I can't change that vibe throughout the set, but if that makes sense. So I'm trying, yeah.
It does. It's interesting. And I've kind of beyond that, I've always wondered about like, you know, an artist, especially an artist who produces their own music, which I don't, right?
Apparently, Deadmau5 doesn't even like club music, but he said like,
had
the
to go
reason
there.
why I like playing,
Yeah,
I don't want to. Yeah,
We are trying to get hyper provocative on this one, right?
I know.
Let's talk about Deadmau5. Yeah. Here we
Anyone
go. Let's
see
all
Coachella?
just bring some. Yeah, let's go. In the comments, add Deadmau5. But I like how much, you know. There's to me there's a push and pull between like. I'm showing up, not me, but you know, as a performer, you're showing up to play a sound that is unique to you and uniquely yours versus like purely just reading the room. And there's a lot of push and pull between that. And I think it's never, it shouldn't be, I don't think one or the other, but there's a lot of back and forth between I want my sound to get out there, but also like I need to read and hold the room. And I would imagine it's especially challenging when you're putting your own music out there to balance that.
Yeah. If I can interject, can we open cans of worms in here?
We can try.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, it's a topic I've been thinking about a lot actually. Is like a producer versus like a DJ philosophy.
Yeah.
You know, especially for like the commercial festivals. You know, it's like you get these guys that are getting booked because they're getting tracks like, you know, on labels and stuff like that. But then it's like when you're coming from like the DJ world, it's like, you know, how are you practicing? Like you're playing for your friends, you're playing like parties, you know. So it's like you're getting more practice on actually reading the room. But when these guys go up there, they're not really doing that. They're just trying to push their sounds more than anything. You know?
What do you think, Sean?
Yeah.
Hand the man a mic.
I don't know. So, I mean, it's always been a thing because most of my experience comes from like overseas before I got here, right? So overseas used to be different. DJs were known, and even producers, when they played out, they were known for their sound. You know what I mean? Because a producer would generally, you know, produce what they're about.
Right.
And a DJ would do the same thing. So you're actually going there in the festival or the club for the sound, right?
Yeah.
For the experience. A good friend of mine, T, that was with me in the UK for like 10 years or whatever, he used to put it this way. A lot of people come from one or two things if they come to the club or the festival, and that's who you're playing to. They're either there for the emotion or they're there for the adrenaline, right? So a lot of times you'll have like the producers who are well known and they're on stage, but really they're there because the DJs bought their stuff. They're not there because they were like number one, particularly on Spotify or, you know, nobody's selling tapes and stuff like that anymore. So a lot of people who come, they're coming not necessarily for that one track, but then the producer may not have anything else other than their stuff, which is cool. But then the adrenaline takes over. So now it's the stage and the lights and all this other stuff that people are there for.
Yeah.
I'm in a different mindset to where I want people to come for the emotion. Right, it's the feeling that you get from listening to how I play,
Like focusing
what
on the
I'm playing,
music.
right?
Yeah, I feel that.
The journey,
I
the
feel
roller
that.
coaster. Some
Yeah.
people it's the story, or some people it's just the random set of surprises throughout the set. So I find that usually, to your point, it depends. It's kind of hard to figure out who you're playing to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people want to be played at or played to. They either
Good way
want
to
to be
put it.
played at for the adrenaline or played to for the emotion. And if you have a mixed bag in the crowd, it's kind of hard, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And a festival needs to get paid.
Yeah.
So a lot of times what appeals is people who buy tickets, and it's the adrenaline junkies. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And in a club, depending on how real or underground it is, it's the emotional guys, right?
Yeah.
So the dark room is the emotional folks, and then the bright room is really the adrenaline that's bringing the attraction.
Yeah.
So depending on what you get on the festival,
Right.
depending on who you playing to, that's what the bill looks like.
Yeah, that's
You
so
see what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, it's
So-
like I feel like that's like, you know, coming down to the dichotomy of like someone looking at a festival lineup and they're like, oh, I want to see this person, I want to see this person,
Yeah.
versus like, oh, this club is good because they're gonna put someone good on and I like the vibe in there.
And that's the difference between, are you going for the show or the sound?
Facts.
Yeah.
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 Dead- You mean like Dead Mouse?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
Sean? Are you doing any of your own? Do you have any of your own production? Are you doing anything?
Man, I suck at production. So I'll just put it out there on Front Street. So we already had this talk. No is the short answer, right? But it's not like I'm not trying. But again, I do so much stuff. There's music, work, which is a different thing. I can't even talk about that much. But it takes a lot of my time and a lot of my focus and my energy.
Cas,
Yeah, you're gonna need a mic there, Ryan. So
Cas, how much time do you spend tooling around
I mean,
in front of your computer?
I'm with Sean here. I have hard priorities, right? I am not a DJ job. My job isn't being a DJ. My family, I have children that comes first. My career to support them and their life and my life is second, and music's a close third. So music is very important, or I wouldn't be doing it. I'm happy doing it. If I wasn't happy doing it, I swear I wouldn't be doing it. I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for a job. I guess you have to believe me. I'm not doing it to be famous. I'm not famous. I'm not doing it to be cool. I'm not cool. I really enjoy it.
It shows, man. I mean, you've been to our events before, like Sean, same. I mean, like you guys, it shows, and that's where I think Ryan and I, and we've always wanted to keep it music first. And sometimes that costs you a crowd, it costs you gigs, whatever. Yeah. But the reality is, like, our authenticity in terms of keeping it strictly about the music. At the end of the day, I'm going to look back and say we did.
Sean, as a vinyl DJ, the best feeling of like going to a record store and digging.
Oh man!
And then you presented all that work on the floor.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us about that.
I'm telling you, back in the days when I started with vinyl, I actually started DJing when I was in England because I used to be in the service. I was in the Air Force. Yeah. So I got shipped out to RAF Mildenhall, and I ended up being in England for the first stint for like 10 years straight.
Yeah.
So I picked it up DJing when I got there, and all the record shops that were local around Cambridge, all the ones that were down in London, Release the Groove, word. I'm jealous. That entire feeling, man. And you're surrounded by DJs. You're out there in and amongst it. Yeah. And everybody's got that same vibe. And when you find, those tracks and you go there and the guy knows you, he knows your sound, and he's giving you a stack, you're like, yeah. I wish I had enough money to buy all of these. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you bring all that to the club, and this goes back to like the sound and the energy and emotion, the emotion that you had when you got that track that you picked it up, I think there's a word for it, like frisson or something like that. Yeah. Those goosebumps that you get. Yeah. That's when you play it, the crowd gets those goosebumps as well, right? And you played them and you bought them in a certain order or whatever, and that's what you're communicating through feels. So yeah, vinyl, when you're picking it up. Yeah. Oh man, it's nothing like that.
It's very much like it's straightforward why I became a DJ, just watching my heroes behind the vinyls, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Those days where I saw Z-Trip like basically 2 feet away from him. I was like, jaws drop. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. At the same time, I mean, now we are in the digital world, and it has brought obviously electronic music to a much broader audience, and has brought people who enjoy it to a place where they feel more comfortable performing. And I think we all could say there's people that thank God they found this world and they can play. And there's probably others we said like, my God, How did
Do we
this
even
happen?
call ourselves DJs or are we US
I don't know.
BJs?
Well,
we're
we are DJs, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, man. Stick with the word, man. We're not cavemen. So, I don't know. So I've always struggled through this, right? Because we kind of loosely talked about this earlier, right? So I went from vinyl. I skipped CDJs completely. I went to Final Scratch, Tractor Scratch, and then ended up at Tractor, right? And I didn't make the jump to Pioneer until I got into XZ. I went all the way straight to XZ during the pandemic, right? Because, you know, I would be carrying my laptop and stuff, you know what I mean? And just like plugging my stuff up and looking like I'm a mix of C3PO and R2D2 at the same time in the space.
Yeah.
So I play, you know, on the decks more of a controllerist than anyone who plays using, you know, CDJs and stuff like that. I play in vinyl mode, but my attack on how I use Pioneer gear is more of a controllerist because I'm used to like Tractor and stuff like that. So I'm in here looking at the buttons and doing stuff with knobs and things like that, but I'm different. If we're CDJs, USB DJs or whatever, I don't know. We're artists and we're playing music.
Yeah.
And as long as we're up there, it may not be disc, but
If you're connecting to the crowd, yeah.
you're
why
connected
not?
to the crowd. You might as well use the same age-old, you know, term.
Yeah, I think to me, again, I said it before, like the music is going to transcend whatever technology you're using. Like at the end of the day, you got to have the right track at the right time, right?
Yep.
You got to capture the emotion or the adrenaline wherever you are.
Right.
And if that takes 2 or 3 buttons or, you know, a bag full of records, like as a consumer, I don't care. I mean, what about you, Cas? Like, do you find yourself as someone, as a consumer, someone who's paying attention to or the balance between like the technical side when you're watching someone or at a performance versus I don't care about the tech. I just want good music. Like,
Yeah, so I try not to give advice to people, but I always give this advice. There are no rules. Because everyone sees the posts of you're not a DJ if, or this is how you do this. And that's all noise to me. And especially new people, I try to not tell them what to do. And for me, it's if you're happy, you're happy.
You're putting smiles on people's faces.
Don't care what you have up there. If you're not happy, that's unfortunate.
yeah.
Right? And maybe this is not for you, but it's about finding what makes you happy. It could be DJing, it could be making music, it could be dancing, it could be anything. It could be sad, it could be the lighting guy. I'm telling you, the lighting guy, yes, he's getting a paycheck, but he friggin' loves lights.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's the laser guy. He will talk to you your nuts off about lasers and how the wattage and the whatever. I don't even know. I'm not a laser guy. But they're passionate.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
they're passionate about it and they're having fun and they love it. And that's all any of us can do is find what you love.
Yeah.
And it might be a multitude of things. It doesn't have to be one thing, but there are no rules. It should be a T-shirt.
There's a thing that's got to be said.
There are no rules.
Right? There's a thing that's got to be said. And I will quote him from Jazzy Jeff. It's not about any of us. It's about the people out there.
Yeah.
And you've seen all of his clips saying that it's about the people out there. And again, quoting him, great man. They don't care what you're DJing with. It could be a tablet. It could be a phone. Like, I think Laidback Luke loses a mobile.
Yeah, Laidback Luke, right? That's right. Yeah.
Shout out to Laidback.
He's not shy about it.
He's not shy about it.
He shouldn't be shy about it. Why should he be? Right?
Just
Like,
laid back Luke. He can do whatever he wants.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I just saw him 2 months ago.
Yeah, nice. Nobody cares. As long as they're dancing, they're having fun, and they're listening to you, and they're engaging with you, and hopefully they're not on their phones. So they don't care. What you come in with, what you learned on, doesn't matter.
The people that you see saying these things, giving you rules, telling you can or can't, they're not happy. Those are the unhappy people, right? And they're deflecting. They're trying to take it out on us, on other people that might be happy.
Yeah.
And just don't let other people take away your happiness.
But Mitch, I mean, you primarily play a different style of music than the four of us up here. Like, in terms of like the tech and kind of things we've just been talking about, like, do you have the same response, different response in terms of I care, I don't care, tech?
I would say so. I started DJing in 2020, like when COVID happened. Like the reason I started DJing was because of COVID. DJ for my friends. The first controller I bought was a DDJ 400, and I used my laptop, and my friend was learning with me. But over time, like, you know, after COVID, like when the pandemic was over, like I started like to, you know, see the differences in the gear. Like I just went to NAMM show 2 months ago in LA, and they showcased like literally everything you could think of. Like someone was playing on like the tape recorders, like they were playing with cassettes and DJing on the cassettes using like a pencel and like sticking in there.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on here? Yeah, like KJ Saka was there too. But you know, it's like, I guess it really comes back to, I feel like it really doesn't matter as long as you can really creatively express yourself, like while you're up there, you know. As long as you can like keep up your flow and like not interrupt your own like creative flow while you're performing in front of people. Like I think that's the biggest takeaway, honestly. Because like, you know, my roommate's a turntablist, so it's like he's like, his DJ has one. If you know him, he, you know, he's really shown me like, you know, like how he came up like DJing, like he came up battle DJing, you know, and now he works with Serato, you know, so it's like he's got like all these different experiences, but it's like same answer as like everyone here and myself. It's just, you know, doesn't matter what gear you're using, you know.
So all of us have said it doesn't matter. It's all about the vibe. Somewhere out there, there's trolls who are clearly unhappy with the technology as advanced.
One of those people that are like, oh, you're not using a real turntable. You're not a real DJ.
I'm excited for 2025. I feel like we've taken a kind of an intentional turn towards doing things that are more curiosity, exploration, community oriented, as opposed to like just show after show after show. What do you guys got going on either the next few weeks over the course of summer? What's going on this year?
In order.
Well, I mean, aside from this, no, I think, what is it? Next week I got Flash Bar. Unlike most people, my networking pretty much sucks. So I don't have anything really lined up.
Your music takes you pretty far, man. Your performances, I mean, your networking, you say it sucks. Your music is transcendent.
Thanks, I appreciate it. So, you know, I'm doing reaching out and stuff like that. But again, I got so many things that are lined up as far as like, it's really the work and the things that I'm doing outside of DJing that's taking a lot of energy and a lot of time, other than that in the family.
Will you record your set at Flash?
Yeah, I'm going to record it. Yeah,
this will probably go out after that, so we'll make sure we link back to it.
Yeah, definitely. But other than that, I think I'm going to be probably taking the trip to the UK, because I think D3EP Radio is doing a festival. I think it's in August. I'm not sure, so I'm holding out for that, because I might be going over there and doing that. Other than that, not much. Visiting fam, because, you know, my wife is British as well, so I'll be over there. Probably make some connections with some people that I know.
Beautiful.
So maybe that'll pan out. But other than that, nothing really like on a schedule like that.
Great.
Other than the show, I'll still be doing the show anyway. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of with Sean. We both, you know, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, our priorities and music. It's important to us, but it's technically it's a hobby.
My wife is in the room, by the way. You're really laying it on pretty thick about priorities.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I don't know. It's important.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Yeah.
If you pay attention, you know, you're out there and you're meeting lots of different people. And if I sometimes I see people and they're talking about their kids or they're this or they're that, but it's not in a way that I would talk about it. And I don't know. I get sad for their situation, but anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, it's important for me to. I'm not shy about it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Hey, I won't invite you to my personal, you know, socials, but it's important to know that there are things that are more important than music.
Yeah.
But with that said, very limited amount of time. I either have to choose going out, either to network or to party, or, you know, stay home and make music or make mixes. And so I have to pick and choose. So I'm not, you know, I don't have a ton of stuff, but I am lucky that I have got a couple gigs coming up. I've had a couple. I play out a handful of times a year, and you know what? That's enough for me.
Yeah.
But I have a really cool gig because it's kind of out of town. And by out of town, I mean it's in Hampton, Virginia. And it's the coolest part about this is it's a daytime pool party.
Beautiful.
It's a rooftop of the Monroe Hotel. It should be a lot of fun. And it's like noon to 6. We're talking day party. It's in the middle of May. Hopefully the weather cooperates. But I'm excited for that. That's a bit of a drive. So I'm not a touring DJ. I don't go out of town and go to a lot of places. So this is cool. It's a cool, exciting opportunity. So that's in May. And in June, I will be back in Baltimore to play this really awesome bar. I'm trying to think of the name. The Royal Blue. It is dope. It's a bar, and it has kind of this not very big but dance room with a bar in it, and it is sick. It is.
We get a lot of Baltimore lately. Like it's such a.
It is sick. I haven't played. I used to play in Baltimore a lot. I'm old. Back in the day, Baltimore goes through changes of venues and clubs and things. This is this is one of those places I've never even heard of it until my friend.
That's what makes a good scene over there, man.
Yeah.
Invited me up there, and it was just packed. And wasn't good because it was packed. It's the people were just into it.
Yeah.
They were there. They were there to party, but there's no phones. It wasn't about me, and that's what was so cool. And they were into the dance music. And it was just cool. I don't know. It was just I'm super excited to be back there. And so the Royal Blue in Baltimore, check it out any day of the week. It's this awesome bar.
Nice.
Nice.
That's what we.
That's on topic. Yeah.
That's what I'm like, dang, because
That was perfect.
that's kind of hard here. I mean, for me at least, because I don't know. I'll just put it out on Front Street. When people know I'm coming or I play, they don't expect me to play when I'm playing. If that makes sense, because I'll go up and I'll go on deck and they're like, okay, he's gonna play like deep, Chicago sounds and this, and I'm like, no, right? And then certain people are like, okay, I want tech house, and I'm like, maybe, but nah.
Yeah.
So it's weird, you know what I mean? So people aren't
Because
there.
you want to recycle and do like the same thing over and over.
Definitely,
Yeah.
and it's just like just on Front Street when they see me on the deck, it's like, okay, it's going to be one way, and then it's not. And then people who are there, I presently hopefully surprise them. So it's very hard, at least for me, when I'm doing floor to the floor. A lot of people aren't there for it; they're there for something totally different. And I haven't really found a whole lot of people that are really in the floor on the floor like that. Most of them are either overseas or in bigger cities than here. Like in New York, yeah, sure. Brooklyn, sure. Chicago, sure.
Yeah.
Baltimore, maybe. But here, it's kind of hit or miss. Other people have done it, and then other people have faded away. But for me, it's just different.
Yeah, well, Ryan knows. I mean, we had you played with us at it was kind of an open decks event, like in one of those big empty rooms in Fairfax.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, put that in my veins right now. Like that is
No, that was like a peek into
that is like-
my early stages of like being in
Man.
the scene. That's like you.
more
you were the
more
DJ
of this,
that-
like more of
yeah,
this.
I saw.
It was.
You
Where has
reminded
this
me of,
been? Where has this been? Yeah. Hey,
You remind me of like a lot of the guys that were like in the army and they were DJing on the side. DJ Matthew, who like they were vinyl DJs, but he just performed, and I was like, wow.
You don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is how I had it. This is like first time going out. Only a couple of people know this. So while I was in the Air Force, stationed in England, right, not too far from Cambridge, the southeast of England, right, I had a job where I worked Monday through Friday primarily, 7:30, 4:30, right, DJing and going to clubs at night. So what would happen is people in the DJ world knew me by one name, right? Sean, Blvd, whatever. And then at work, they knew me as like, Sergeant,
This man's got dual lives.
Yeah, do a lot. So what would happen is some people would see me in the club and they're like, hey, wait a minute, that's so-and-so.
That's
And then other people who are DJs are like, hold on. So it's gotten so bad and so just varied that where I was, there's like this general. He had like 2 stars or whatever in front of our building, right?
Yeah.
And you see where it's going. So there's like the semicircle in front of the building, right? So I'm getting picked up by this one DJ who DJs with Ministry of Sound.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like, hey, man, we're going to hang out like for a long time. I'm going to come pick you up on bass.
Oh,
Now, the
jeez.
way the bass is structured, there's no gate because it's the Queens Road on that side of the bass, right?
Okay.
So here I am like, all right, cool, man, pick me up. I'm going to come out of work. I'm going to be dressed already.
Yeah.
Little did I know, coming out of work, here comes the stretch limo.
Oof.
Blasting house, right? It's coming out.
Where's this going?
And in front of like the semicircle, the drive, is like the commander's car.
Oh, ew.
Going out to his car right behind me is the commander. And I'm like, he's like, hey, who's that for? Because he's got to drive out and this thing is blocking him coming out. I'm like, that's for me. Right, so he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He goes, but, all right, yeah, we'll talk Monday. I'm like, yes, sir, we'll talk Monday. So at that point, they're like, did you know that? Did you know Sergeant Parker? What's going on? He's got limos. And then when you start playing in like different places, like I've gone to like Croatia, France, all this stuff.
Oh, nice.
And then you come back on Monday, they're like, so where'd you go? So what happened? And then I get into the car.
It has a wristband on.
Yeah, wristband, I'm tired as hell. When I got into the limo and anytime they pick me up, then people are in there, like guys who know me are like, all right, everybody. Calm down. He's probably not going to drink much because, they say he's in the Army. I'm like, I'm not in the Army, man. You know what I mean? They're like, no, we've heard him play. He can't be in the Army. Yeah. So I have like a split life and it's been that way for years, right?
Awesome.
So when you say that, it's kind of like when you enjoy it to the fullest.
Because he popped in with like the horseshoe ring on his nose, the septum piercing. I'm like, he's in the Army? What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the split life, and that's how you live.
Yeah, the split life. Split life.
Doing it for a good
double
cause.
agent. Breaking all kinds of barriers here. So, yeah.
Love it, though.
Mitch, what do you got going on, man? What's going on for you in 2025?
This is my chill year. To be honest, I've been kind of opening it up for... I don't know if you're record scratching my roommate's name, but I'll say roommate.
probably ask him.
Roommate / friend. Yeah, he's been taking me to events. Like I went to NAMM show because of him in LA in January. So that was like my exposure to like meeting all these like engineers and like professional DJs representing Pioneer. Technics, like, and then the DMC DJs. So like I've been kind of like dipping my feet into getting to know those people. Went to my first like official DJ battle. I didn't compete, but I got to attend a few weeks ago actually, and it was really cool to see. So I feel like this is like an educational year for me. Other than that, I might have a gig coming up in Clarendon next month. Gonna have to follow up on details for that.
Upstairs, downstairs?
It's actually at a new venue. It's a new venue that just opened up. Yeah, I literally just got asked yesterday. In Clarendon. And then I'm playing at Blvd in late July.
So you're on the lineup for Blvd. Nice. That's good,
yes,
man. Congrats.
Yes, thanks.
That's a good lineup.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for hooking me up for last night.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Glad you could play. Yeah, thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
I
shirt.
get the techno system out of him.
Yeah, I could tell you really needed to get it out.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, this guy's technoing
Pitch
so
perfect,
hard.
man. Like, I showed up. So Ryan played at Transit last night, which those you in the area know is an institution in Northern Virginia. And Ryan, we've been doing a lot of different stuff lately, house, UKG, etc. Show up, Ryan is like, it's like acid and like it's just the music was just
140,
it was like
145, 150 BPM.
Oh my God! It's like this
was
guy's right where he needs to be, man.
Minimal,
killing
hard,
it.
Yeah.
It's always good to see. And you had a nice big bubble yum in there too, man. It was you had your shades, you had bubble yum. You're just living your best life.
He was ready.
I just approached it like if I was playing baseball. I'm like, man, I have to really looking at my crates. Like I'm like, I'm dialed
insert
in.
video here because man, it was like seeing you in your element like that is like it's exactly why. I spend the time, like I think we all do for our friends, spend the time to go out and support because when you see them doing it the right way and the way they love it, you're like, God damn, that was like, it's exactly what I needed to see.
Well, that's what I wanted to sort of, like when you think about people who aren't into anything like or techno or whether it's house and they see you like give off that factor of like, yeah, he is. You could tell that
Yeah.
that passion just shines through. That's it. Yeah.
Well, guys, we are at 9:20. We're at hit the late hour. We got a lot of people on this one, so we're gonna we'll put all the socials into the show notes. We'll make sure you guys have the links. We got Ryan Soho, Sean Blvd, Cas, Elusive Water. Thank you guys so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. Like, this has been just a good conversation. I mean, we could probably take one topic and go for hours, but yeah, I really
once we
enjoyed
stop
having you
tape, we're just gonna like keep talking.
Yeah, we hope somebody says something ridiculous so we
Yeah.
can put it in the blooper reel at the end.
Yeah.
But your camera, Ryan's camera just died there.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining the Open Decks podcast. We have been recording this at MusicBox Karaoke Lounge in Falls Church. Thank you so much to Richard and the team at
thank you,
MusicBox
Richard.
for hosting us tonight. Let's come back and do it again soon. All right, thanks guys. Thank y'all. See you guys.
I said everything you guys wanted me to say. So now,
No, start.
now I can tell you how to
say
DJ,
something
right?
different now.
Now
Yeah.
I can tell you the right way.
Now you can show us how
You've
unhappy
been doing
you are.
it all wrong. I couldn't say it on the
Cas
show,
is
but
shoot, they re-record.
I think I got.
Hot mic.
Sean, who are these guys? Who are these guys? What is this
Gotta
place?
talk to our agent.
High five.
It was on TV.
Yes.
2 snaps in a circle. Yeah, right, yeah.
That's amazing.